Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Friday. Oh, TGIF to this one. The 23rd of September. This is our weekly recap. It goes out for free to everybody. In the description below, smartoptiontrading.com, if you want to join us after you listen to this video, you get commentary, analysis like this, and just join us. It's $25 for the first 30 days. So let's just start off with by the way, Nvidia guys and AMD bouncing. We're doing this live. A big map of the S&P 500. The first thing I want you guys to notice, we're just getting very close to the June lows at 362.17. Can we go lower? Yes. Will we? I don't know. Possible, but we're very, very extended down. We're actually bouncing here into the close, and we're bouncing because there's probably a bunch of shorts out there covering, and shorts are covering because they don't want to face what if there's news over the weekend. Now, there's a couple things in play here. One, we're going into the high Jewish holidays, and I believe on Sunday it's Rosh Hashanah, and then next weekend on Sunday it's Yom Kippur. Happy New Year to everybody out there who celebrates, who's Jewish and celebrates. So the old saying is, sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. But I can't remember the last time we were this far down and this oversold going into this. So whether this will work or not this year, I don't know. What I do know is this: we're very close to the lows, and we're way out of the Bollinger Bands. We are 15 handles or so off of the 8-day, and the oscillators are very, very oversold. Negative 387 on the New York Stock Exchange and negative 458 on the NASDAQ. These are levels we should be looking for a bounce to. It doesn't mean it has to hold. It doesn't mean it's anything more than that. It means we should be looking for some type of bounce coming up in the next day or two. In my book, a perfect trade would be that we go weak on Sunday night, and we start bouncing on Monday morning. We get a nice red to green trade, and we could power up here into maybe the 8-day, maybe fill this gap or see what we get. The least welcoming trade this week would be we gap up big on Monday morning, thereby making everybody miserable, because then if you're short, you're debating. If you're long, you're not sure you want to chase it. And I think you just keep things very simple here. You know, this week overall was good. Today, not so good. I screwed up. I traced the NQ long. I made a mistake. I took a big loss. I took a loss again trying to get back on it. Made some money the next time, made some money on SPX calls. But overall, I'm down a little bit on today, but green on the week. And it's going to happen in markets like this. We get out of sync, and we just have problems. The Fed has come in and said, we're not your friend. The Fed is extremely, extremely, extremely hawkish. They are going to talk a ton next week. Powell speaks at least twice. Brainerd speaks at least twice. They're all going to run their mouths ad nauseum. We have GDP next week. We have PCE next week. It's going to be a busy data week. I don't want to talk about November Fed meeting. Everybody wants to talk about this already. Who cares? We're 5.5 weeks out. A lot can change between now and then. Focus on what we have here and focus on what's going on. Let's open it up to some charts real quick. This is another one we need to look at. The dollar is absolutely gone through the roof, and this is one of the reasons the market's getting hammered. This move this year in the dollar and today, look at this move, this parabolic move. The dollar doesn't move like this. It's putting tremendous pressure on the stock market and companies. The exchange rates are killing them. Bonds are actually up a little bit here today, recovering, but no strength yet. The VIX finally took out 28 and it had all the way to 32. What we're watching for on the VIX now is a close back inside the Bollinger Band now that we're out of it. That would maybe give us an idea that risk on. You can see when we do this in the past, it's typically an indicator of risk on. Tesla had been one of the stronger charts, lost the 50-day today, gap down, still holding this little bit of an upper level area, but not by the skin of its teeth. Apple's been another stronger name, still holding this little area here by the skin of its teeth. You're going to, hear that a lot here. Amazon finally capitulated. This one does not look good. Tremendous puts on it into next week. Microsoft, a new 52-week low. Meta broke below 140, a new 52-week low. Google broke below 100, down to 97, a new 52-week low. Tech is getting destroyed. The banks have rolled over. Look at this down move on GS, JP Morgan. Again, look how extended as I'm going through these quickly. You could pause this off the 8-day. We are on so many of these names. This market screams bounce. Now, is it Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know, but it screams we get a bounce. More interestingly here is Nvidia, while it put a new 52-week low in today, it's bouncing and trying to hold up. The semis are very oversold. AMD, not quite as strong. Micron going into earnings next week. Oops, not UG, Micron going into earnings next week. Green on the day, up. Energy is weak. Why is energy weak? Because crude and natural gas are getting shellacked. Why are they getting shellacked? They're getting shellacked because the market thinks we're in a recession. I don't care what Powell says. I think we are too. And he thinks the market thinks we're going into a massive global recession where the Fed is helping to accelerate it. And in a recession, guess what? Commodities are not the place to be because everybody slows down. The amount of commodities being used slows down. That's why oil and natural gas are selling off despite shortfalls in Europe at the moment. So right now it's time to be careful. Play defense. I'm looking for a bounce next week. We'll play it aggressively. But for me right now, if we bounce next week, it's just a bounce. For me, at this point, the low's not in until we get some type of decent action and reversal and start to push back above the 8-day, and we're well off of it. So that could be a nice trade back to it and then see. I'll do charts tomorrow, Sunday morning early. I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. If you want to join us, link in the description below, and everybody be good. Members, I'll see you bright and early on Monday morning.